Part 3 and the final video in this series on the young Phillips mountain drive deals with the section from the 7th to the 11th kilometer. If you intend driving this pass, it's important to watch parts 1 and 2 first, which contain the Google Earth orientation clips as well as important safety and tourism information. After the Meelwater picnic site, the road begins descending gently and follows 2 buttresses and 2 ravines, each bisected by a small stream. The views start opening up over the Paarl Valley to your left. At the 6 kilometer mark, there's an abrupt left-hand bend with a sudden increase in gradient as the road drops away directly into the east. A short distance later, at the 6.5 kilometer point, there's a 90-degree right-hand bend which takes the heading back into the south. The gradient flattens out again and begins following the 300-meter contour line. The suburbs of Paarl are now clearly visible with unobstructed views to the left. There's a very good view site at the 7.6 kilometer mark where a large granite rock holds the mountain back, allowing sufficient parking for about 4 vehicles. Although this view site is lower in altitude than the others, it offers the best views of the whole drive. From here it's easy to pick out Paarl's famous landmarks, neat vineyards, churches, the KWV cellars, sports fields and the Berg River, with the Groot Drakenstein Mountains forming a wide rim of jagged peaks from end to end. Alien trees like pines and blue gums have been systematically removed from the mountain, leaving it to be covered in its natural state of mountain fynbos. The town of Paarl was settled from 1687, and consequently some of the finest examples of Cape Dutch architecture are found in these parts. Some of these can be seen alongside the 12-kilometer-long main road, along with a mix of Victorian and Art Deco buildings. A lovely example of such a Cape Dutch manor house can be found at the well-known Nederburg Wine Estate. This H-shaped homestead, completed in the year 1800, has a beautifully proportioned Cape Dutch gable and is fitted with yellowwood shutters, beams and doors, and Batavian floor tiles. Another of the town's claims to fame is as the birthplace of Afrikaans as a written language. It was here that a group calling themselves the Society of True Afrikaners first committed the language that had previously been referred to as Kitchen Dutch to print in 1876. Paarl is the largest of the Wineland towns and is well worth a visit as it offers a variety of accommodation, restaurants to dine in, wine farms to visit and beautiful scenic drives. After clearing another 2 side ravines, the road curves around a spur of the mountain and descends towards an inky blue dam. Before the dam, a small dwelling appears on the left and a scraggly fence forms a boundary on the same side. The house is inhabited, so keep a lookout for dogs as well as small children. This spot also marks a very sharp left-hand bend of 90 degrees, which needs to be negotiated slowly. Another road leads off to the left, which is also publicly accessible and can be used as an alternative access road for those not wanting to drive past the amphitheatre or for those wanting to take a shortcut back to Paarl. The shortcut is the original road and is well worth driving, but we don't recommend it for cars which lack ground clearance. The road now begins climbing again through a series of S-bends, and the corrugations can be particularly severe on some of these corners. The open-air amphitheatre is clearly visible from the road and is situated on the right-hand side up the slope of the mountain. When you reach the end of the pass at the T-junction on a wide bend of the main tar road which leads up to the Taal Monument, why not spend an hour exploring the graceful architecture and the sublime views? All visitors are welcome and there is a small admission charge. The road makes one final right-hand bend and climbs quickly towards the end point at 298 meters above sea level. Be particularly careful when bleeding into the main road as the traffic moves much faster on this section.